Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. You guys know the deal around here. We talk Tennessee football every single day of the year. Yes, we support the basketball team. Yes, we support the baseball team, the softball team, but we talk Tennessee football every single day here on the Talkin VAWLS Network, and we are just 1 week away from kicking off spring camp. Can't wait. I'm excited. Not only is spring practice going to resume, but also recruiting opens back up. You're going to have Faison Brandon in town next Friday. You're going to have Tristan Keys, the #1 wide receiver in the country, in town. Man, how about that? The 247 Sports overall #1 player, Faison Brandon, already committed to Tennessee, but also Tristan Keys. What a great pair that would be. But, man, I'm excited. I'm ready to talk some spring camp, spring ball, a lot of storylines to get into. But is this going to be the last official spring camp at Tennessee under Josh Heupel? We're seeing it all around the country, right? 5 major college football programs cancel spring games. There's talk of completely getting away from spring practice and moving it to the summer. Why is that? Well, we're seeing it play out with Ricky Gibson. That's one of the top storylines we're watching because of that transfer portal window that opens after spring camp. Look, we've seen Josh Heupel completely cancel the spring game because of renovations. We've seen Josh Heupel host a spring game behind closed doors, right? He had it open to recruits and families, but no fans. Last year, limited seating. This year, going to be open to back up. We're going to do a Talkin VAWLS hangout at the G10 parking garage the day of the orange and white game. Going to be a good time, but I'm excited. We are 1 week away, but again, we're seeing all around the country. Will Tennessee go this direction next year? This article says 5 major programs cancel the spring games. Says programs have officially canceled their games heading into the 2025 season. The college football landscape is changing and quickly as name, image, and likeness continues to provide players with opportunities to make real money, and the NCAA's transfer portal remains open. There's going to be a lot of turnover with teams from year to year. No one is immune from it. We're seeing it play out right in front of our eyes with Ricky Gibson. It says even Ohio State, which went on to win the 2024 national championship, saw multiple players transfer out in between the end of the regular season and the playoff. One Buckeyes player reportedly received a $1 million offer to transfer, ultimately choosing to stay. College football coaches are doing what they can to keep their rosters intact. Canceling spring games has now become a big way to do that. It says here the 5 major programs that have opted to cancel their games: Nebraska, Texas, USC, Missouri, and Florida State. Nebraska head coach Matt Rule led the way with the decision, saying that he didn't want to provide other schools with the opportunity to scout his players and potentially offer them landing spots to transfer out. Here's the quote from Rule: the word tampering doesn't exist anymore. It's just an absolute free open market. I don't necessarily want to open up the outside world and have people watch our guys and say, hey, he looks like a pretty good player. Let's go get him. He added, I dealt with a lot of people offering our players a lot of opportunities after that. So you go out and bring in a bunch of new players and showcase them for all the other schools to watch. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Spring games can be a fun opportunity for fans to see some football being played in March or April, and they can be big money makers for the schools, but football coaches have to do what's best for their future of their programs. It's worth it to them to lose an opportunity to make money in the spring if it means better results in the fall. That's the disappointing thing, man. The spring game used to be all about families and kids and getting to meet the players and autographs and pictures. It was always a big time. Now it's like, I don't know, man. I still enjoy the spring game. It's fun to watch, but it's just not what it used to be. But I do think this is the direction we are probably going to see Tennessee and Josh Heupel go if it doesn't completely change altogether. Again, will they move maybe to some type of mini camp during the summer? Will they go that route, or do they shut down this spring portal window? I think that's something, in my video yesterday on Ricky Gibson, if you missed it, go back and give it a watch. I was a little aggressive towards Ricky Gibson. I don't think he's a good teammate taking advantage of his brother, the guy that plays opposite of him. They sit in the same room together, taking advantage of his injury for money. But the big problem is the way the system is set up gives him the opportunity to do that. So we'll see what happens. Do you think this is Tennessee's last spring game? Look, we got some big-time storylines talking about going into spring camp. We're going to get into those, but as always, I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff for me. Smash the thumbs up down there below the video. Quick, free, easy, helps this channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if it's your first time here, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. We don't pretend to be experts or insiders here. We're nobody special. We're not media. We're exactly what you guys are. This channel was built by the fans. It's for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe, click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We're going to be live on Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We play EA Sports, college football. We talk all things Tennessee football. We're getting geared up for spring camp. We're going to be going live every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time throughout the course of spring camp. So make sure you are dialed in for that as well. But let's talk about some of the storylines going into this spring camp coming up next Friday. And again, I guess you got to start with Ricky Gibson, right? You got to start with Ricky Gibson and everything that's going on, announce his plans to enter the transfer portal. And again, if you missed that video, I put out a video yesterday. Go back, give it a watch. Kind of gives all the details there. But will he be on the field? I think that's going to be the big storyline on Friday, which that's sad, man. We're back. We're playing football, and the storyline for all the media, for us, for everybody on YouTube is going to be, does Ricky Gibson step foot on the practice field on Friday? It sounds like as of right now, he's going through workouts. He's with the team. He's doing what he's supposed to do. But does he show up for spring camp? And how do you handle that? A guy that's telling you, I'm going to enter the portal. Do you let that guy get reps? Talked a little bit more about that yesterday. What are your thoughts on Ricky Gibson? What are your storylines you're watching going into spring camp? I think we would all have to agree. There's a lot of eyes on that offensive line. There's a lot of eyes on that wide receiver room. You look at the offensive line, Lance Hurd is your only returning starter in 2025. Of course, Andres Carrick, his appeal got denied. Coop, Spraggs, and Campbell are all off to the NFL. So we've got some competition, boys. We got new faces across the offensive line. What does that look like? Where does Pendleton fit in? Where does Wendell Moy Jr. fit in? Is William Satterwhite locked down as the center? I think it speaks volumes that Bison Lang entered the transfer portal. I think he saw the writing on the wall. I think he knew the job was William Satterwhite's to lose. And then do we see David Sanders slide in there at right tackle as a true freshman? Or does a guy like Bennett Warren come along? Again, a lot of competition. This is something Josh Heupel's not seen since arriving in Knoxville, right? I mean, look at Cooper Mays. Cooper Mays has been the center since Josh Heupel took over this football team. Same guy running the operation every single year. But also, that wide receiver room. Look at the number of guys that are gone from that room. I mean, you had 5 guys hit the portal. Chaz Nimrod, Laycock, Spillman, Webb, Squirrel White. 2 guys are out of eligibility. Brew McCoy, Dante Thornton, 7 guys. 7 guys are gone from that room. What does Mike Matthews look like? What does Braylon Staley, Chris Brazzell, Boo Carter going to flip over and play some offense? Amari Jefferson, can he get up to speed? Will he be ready to go? Do the true freshmen, a lot of people believe that Travis Smith, true freshman wide receiver, a lot of people believe that he's going to be able to contribute to this football team in 2025. Does he get that opportunity? Or is it like Mike Matthews, where all season long we're saying, where's Travis Smith? Where's Travis Smith? Where's Travis Smith? But to me, you line up the guys that transferred out, you line up the guys that are going to be taking the field in 2025. I think the wide receiver room has an opportunity to be better than it was in 2024. A lot of people want to talk about losing Dylan Sampson. I get it. Dylan Sampson, absolute stud, broke records in 2024. I think that running back room is going to be just fine. I said it all along. I think Peyton Lewis ultimately ends up being RB1. I think he's going to be your starting running back. But we've led the conference in rushing the last 2 seasons. Why not go ahead and do it for a 3rd straight year, right? Jalen Wright passes the torch to Dylan Sampson, passes the torch to Peyton Lewis. I think this running back room is going to be pretty dang good in 2025. Defensively, man, I felt good about this Tim Banks defense. I did. I felt really good about it. Then Jermod McCoy goes down with the ACL injury. They're saying he could be back week 2, week 3. When is he in football shape? When's he 100%? Is he ever back to 100%? I don't know. How does his knee respond? Even with Jermod McCoy down, still felt pretty good about this defense. And now Ricky Gibson holds this football program hostage. Says, I'm going to enter the portal unless you give me what I want, even though he already got a raise. He already got a raise back in December. He accepted it. He signed, sealed, and delivered. Everything was good. But now he's holding the program hostage because he wants more money, and we're 1 week away from spring camp. That concerns me. I think the defensive line is going to be just fine. I think the linebackers are solid. I think Edwin Spillman's a dude that you're going to have a hard time keeping off the field. Who steps into that 2 deep there? You're going to have Arian Carter, Jeremiah T. Lander, Edwin Spillman. Who takes that next spot? Is it Jordan Burns? Is he a guy that can step up? Got a lot of talent at the linebacker position in that class of 25. Does a freshman come along? Does a freshman have an opportunity to get out there on the football field? Christian Gass, Jaden Harmon. You got some studs in that class of 25. Do we see some of those young guys get an opportunity? Secondary, I think Jacoby Thomas is going to be an upgrade. What does Boo Carter look like year 2 at that star position? Jalen McMurray's a guy that played a lot of football last year. I talked about that in the video yesterday. Ricky Gibson, Jermod McCoy, Jalen McMurray all played pretty good number of snaps, but no other corner on this roster played more than 100. So that's what concerns me about the defense. What are your storylines that you're going to keep an eye on going into spring camp, which again kicks off next Friday? Going to have all the coverage right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. But what are your storylines? What are you watching Put it in the comment section. As always, smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can also support the channel by hitting that join button. It's right down there beside subscribe. You can do that for $1 per month. $1 per month is what keeps the lights on here on the Talkin VAWLS Network, keeps us talking Tennessee football every day of the year. So if you like what we do, if you're a fan, if you're a lurker, think about hitting that join button. All the links are in the description to do that as well. That is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.